A few weeks ago, I woke up with a major pain in my jaw. Thought to myself, what did I do last night? What happened? So I'm going to give you three options of what happened. I like to think you to think about each one of them. The first one was it because when I was a young child, my older sister socked me in the face so hard my mouth was stuck open for hours? Maybe that one. Or number two, is it because I ground my teeth so bad I made some damage to myself? Or is it three, I just turned 50, so it's just the beginning? So if you haven't guessed, it was number two. I ground my teeth so bad I damaged muscles. So today I'm going to talk about three things. One is, when did I know, or how did I know that I grind my teeth? Two, how did my doctor visit go? And three, what harm does teeth grinding actually do? So the first thing is, how did I know I grind my teeth? Well, many years ago, so my first person that I'm going to quote would be my mother, who has lots of experience and firsthand experience. She has 4 children. And she told me years ago when we had a small home, she would go in my bedroom at night, shove her fingers in my mouth to stop me from grinding my teeth. She didn't do that for the health of my teeth. She did it so she could sleep. And I should have remembered that she had very good hearing skills when I was a teenager. I should remember that. Another was when I saw years ago, I was going to Dr. Lawrence McDonald in Morgan Hill. And he told me, you grind your teeth. It's not good. It's not good. So he made a mouthpiece. Here it is right here. Mouthpiece. Hard to see. But I only wore it a little short period of time. It was just kind of inconvenient. Didn't wear it. The next current research of the person firsthand experience of seeing my teeth grinding is my current dentist. His son, Dr. Andrew McDonald, took over his practice. Ever since I met him a couple years ago, he kept saying, why aren't you wearing your mouth guard? I can see the wear on your teeth. Otherwise, I have no cavities, so this is the only thing that possibly can be bad. But I still didn't wear it. With all this information, I still didn't wear my mouth guard. So the years of ignoring the facts caught up to me, and that morning, the day that I hurt my jaw. So a couple of weeks after that, the recommendation of my dentist, I went to an oral surgeon, Dr. Alicia Fulmar Wang in San Jose. Let's talk a little bit about what I learned from the visit. Raise your hand if you've ever heard someone say, oh, I have TMJ. Has anyone ever heard someone say I have TMJ? We all have TMJ. TMJ is the name of a joint, temporomandibular joint. So we all have the joint. It's not anything that's a harm. What they should be saying is TMD for temporomandibular joint disorder, which is what I have. So that's something very interesting because for many years I've heard people say that wrong. And according to WebMD, this joint is what allows you to move your jaw up and down and like side to side to eat, chew, and yawn and talk. Sorry. So that was interesting. And then she took x-rays and it showed I did not have any damage to my bones, which is really good. It was just my muscles that I had damaged grinding my teeth. And then this other technical thing is very technical. So she said a typical person could put 3 fingers in your mouth when it's open. 3. That's really technical, right? I can only do 2. She was trying to shove my mouth open and it would not move. That was very interesting. And the next is she gave me this little paper, little something that says it must have been a little handout they handed many people. Take ibuprofen multiple times a day. Don't have anything hard candy, gum, soft foods, all these recommendations. And at the end of the visit, I said, well, I guess I would have healed myself. I probably didn't really need to come. And I think that was a little insulting. I should have said that. And next, why is teeth grinding a problem? What harm does it do? Well, according to WebMD, chronic teeth grinding can actually cause fracturing, loosening, and or loss of teeth. Too much teeth grinding can wear them down to stumps. That sounds awful. And when it happens, you get bridges, crowns, or root canals, implants, or even dentures. The severe teeth grinding can also affect your jaw and change the appearance of your face. Jeez, that's awful. And also another website, BellevueDental.com, but also I heard my Dr. Andrew McDonald say this, is that teeth grinding can remove the enamel on your teeth. And then when that happens, you're more likely to get tooth decay. And that's what I actually don't want that because I don't have any cavities. So that would be awful. So with this experience, I learned some important things. One is I should have listened to my mother and my dentist years ago. I looked at my mouth guard as a nuisance, but really is really going to help me with that not having cavities or expensive dental work. Certainly, I don't want to change the appearance of my face unless I'll look younger or better, and that probably wouldn't happen. And it's probably not polite to tell a doctor you probably didn't need a visit because you probably would heal by yourself. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Well, our first piece, let's go right into it. We're going to hear from our evaluators on how our speakers did today. So if I can, I'd like to call up Dan to give his evaluation of Julie's speech. Please welcome Dan.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Julie, that was a great speech, and I'm not just expressing a hollow phrase here. I really believe it was an excellent speech. It was superb. It had a very bold and audacious title, What a Pain. And boy, that set the tone. And your introduction was solid. The introduction conveyed the whole idea of the speech. This was a personal story, which I thought was great. Even though this is a project about researching, you managed to have your personal story dominate the whole picture, which was, I think, very effective. And then you explained to us the 3 items that this speech was going to be about. So we knew what to expect. And in your introduction, you injected a bit of humor as well, and that was great. I really did like the fact that this was a personal story, as I mentioned. I also did like the fact that you injected some humor at different points. That crazy conversation, I guess it was with your dentist, was one point, but the one that I really liked the best was when you asked us all, have we heard people talk about their TMJ? And then, and then you said, well, everybody has a TMJ. So you really kind of got us. And I thought that was pretty funny, actually. I liked the way in your style that you had so much animation and so much sense of just conversing with the audience. And this is really one of your great strengths is you connect with the audience so well. You're very personable, you smile, but you're straight on getting through that speech, getting to the point, always, never meandering. I thought this was all very effective in its totality. With respect to the actual requirements of this project, which is to be, for example, citing sources, you did manage to do that. You brought up WebMD and you got into some of the technicalities of TMJ, which was fine and good and very appropriate. And it did not drag too long, which I think was a good thing as well, because this still centered around your personal story. A few things I would suggest, and they're not very major. One of them is that I would suggest that since you're down to the shoulders in terms of the camera, that you look a little bit small given the field of view of the camera. So I would just bring a more close-up shot, somewhat like Ranjita is doing, for example. The other thing was that conclusion, which was great, superb. It wrapped things up very nicely. However, it was just a little bit fast, and I'm not sure whether that was because time was running out. I have no idea, but it just was a little bit fast and a little bit difficult for me to pick up. Overall, stupendous speech. This one is going to linger in my mind, much like another great, enjoyable speech you gave in the past about recycling. And that was a superb speech as well. You're very effective with giving speeches. Can't wait to hear more. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.